some Q&A to do. Hope you're doing fine, 'cause it's Q&A time again. Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing great. If not, as always, hope it gets better for you. And hopefully the live stream picked up the intro song this time, because I know some of you guys have been missing it the last few times. Because, yeah, YouTube doesn't start right when it starts. Imagine that. But hello, hope everybody had a great week. So if you don't know, this is a Friday Night Live Q&A where you can ask questions about keeping fish, shrimp, and or plants in your precious freshwater aquarium. And if I don't know the question, somebody here will know the question, because we have so many awesome people in here. Too many to name. But hello everybody. And yes, happy 4th of July weekend. Thank you, Chris Trapp. And hope everybody has a good one. Stay safe out there. Fulfills all their fishy fantasies. Whatever you want to call them. Dreams. Congrats, Dave Kendrick, on your first buried shrimp. That is awesome. Hey, you have a theory about why shrimp? J-Rad says he's got a theory about why shrimp run from the net when you cull too much. Yeah, they get wise, so I got a theory about that too. And it's really, if you let one escape when they're really trying to get away, they will go tell all the other shrimp about it. And they start like these little kung fu classes within like the woodworks and the rock work. And they teach all the little babies how to run away from you too. That's my theory. So I've been working on the pond all day. Great to sit down for a second. Hammering out some walls out there. Pond's running. 23 koi in the pond right now. Still working on a skimmer, because I kind of messed it up. But like it's like that close. For all these rock walls I'm building are just taking time. They're gonna take time. So it is what it is. I will be bringing out more and more videos for you once that gets done. It's just, I can only put my focus on a few things at once. Like, when I try to spread myself out too much, then I spread myself out too thin. How are the ponds? Well, there you go. A little update for you, Chris, before I read the question. But, oh my God, I can't wait to share it with you guys. It is going to be epic. You guys will love it. You guys will see why it was worth the wait. And yeah, I'm super excited to get it done and show you guys. Well, thank you, James Shepard. I appreciate that. Scrolling, looking for questions. And if you do have a question, it always helps to put a question mark behind your question. See Oddball Aquatics in here. Big shout out and thank you to Oddball Aquatics for delivering me some fish from Aquatic Arts. Hooking up the rice fish, some Miyukis. So I'll show you guys those later in the future too. I see Father Fish in the chat. What's up, Father Fish? Hello. And I wish I could shout out all of your guys' names, like Thomas and Kay and Fishy Mel. Well, Fishy Mailman, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And picking up Candy's work, because I have a feeling that I know Candy's busy. Aquarium Co-op has Candy busy, but it seems like ever since she started working for Aquarium Co-op, she just has not been around. I don't know. But thank you, Fishy Mailman, for reminding me to get in live chat, because she used to help me with that all the time, because I always forget, and I forgot this time. So thank you for the super chat and the help. Thomas Glazier says, how many pounds of tetracolored tropical granules have you fed the koi? So I have been feeding them granules, which, let's see, 2-3 days ago was the first time I actually had to start feeding them. There was so much live food stockpiled in those ponds. Like, I didn't even have to feed them. They've been eating all the Daphnia, mosquito larvae, just biofilm everywhere. They've been living it up. But I am chucking in the granules now for them. And they really do eat the granules, so. We will be feeding them scraps as well from like our garden and whatnot. That's a good thing about koi. So they'll eat a lot of stuff. Xanadu, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Always great to see you in here, Xanadu. Says happy Friday, LRB, and all the fish fam. That's all. Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. That is awesome of you. And hopefully this Friday we can go longer than a half hour. For some reason, we've only been, YouTube's allowed me to go for a half hour before they decide to cut off the stream. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, as of lately, YouTube just keeps cutting off my stream. James Shepard, thank you so much for the $5 in pounds. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. Didn't have anything to say, but throwing out the support. Very, very helpful. Melissa Foster's, thank you, or says the chocolate Australs I bought from you. Any special care? They do prefer softer water, the chocolate Australs. They love pea moss. Just make sure you watch the male and female, that they don't fight much. If you give them live food, even better. They will eat granules, but really just kind of set them up like a fish. And if you want to breed them, definitely soften up that water. Alright, scrolling. Carolyn Yerby says, Lucas, does anybody have freshwater Hawaiian gobies? Ooh, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure what a Hawaiian goby is. It's a good question. If anybody in the chat knows, let us know, please. Hubball Aquatics says, I got some bags of koi food left over if you want some. Ooh, yes, definitely. That would be great, Haley. Hubball Aquatics. You know, like I say, I'm feeding them the granules for their color, but these koi do not need help in their color. Like, I can't wait to show you guys these koi. It will show people that, like, I don't know how, I mean, I guess people know how beautiful koi can get, but, like, I don't know. They're my koi. I guess I'm biased, too, probably. But you guys will see them here in the future. Melissa Foster's, thank you. Huge $20 super chat. Says, thank you, Lucas. No, thank you, Melissa. That is awesome of you. That's real big. And definitely helpful. So thank you very, very, very much. Oh, and J-Rad Iron Man with the $5 super chat says, and thank you, says, my theory is that they release stress or warning pheromones when you scoop them in a net. Then they learn to associate the sight of the net as danger. That is definitely possible. And especially with the males, I've noticed, like, if you flash the light on earlier from when they're used to them coming on, the males just, like, they wash out like crazy. Crazy. So that's kind of the same thing as when they release the stress and the warning pheromones. And some of them, like my yellow line, as soon as that net hits the water, like they're like all over the place. My red cherries, though, they just sit there, they're eating, they don't care. There's so many of them trying to get to food. I could swoop them all up. So I guess I don't know, it's kind of weird because some are smarter than others, or they have the little shrimp dojos going on, teaching each other. Maybe a little less kung fu master or shrimp dojo masters in the reds as the yellows. I don't know. It is kind of weird though. But I see that you understand the issues that you can come up with for sure. It's an interesting theory, but thank you, J-Rad Ironman, for the $5 super chat. And if they do start to associate that side of the net as danger, and this is like, okay, let's see, just the other day I was snagging up some shrimp for the reef, and my yellows, for some reason, I put food in the net. Like I used to be able to do this all the time, put food in the net, they would go in there and they'd eat it, and then I'd grab them, but man, they would not even get in that net that time. So I think you may be onto something. I haven't really had many associate that, but for some reason my yellows definitely do, and I grab out of them all the time. It's really weird. because my blue lines, that's not a big problem. My red line, that's not a big problem. Todd W says, can cribs and Doris go together in a community tank? Now they can, but if you're planning on wanting to breed out your cribs, it can be a little more difficult with the Doris because they could possibly snack on the eggs. There may be a little battling and tiffing on that if they do bother with it. But if you keep them fed, shouldn't be too problematic. But if you really don't care if you breed them or not, then yeah, you can keep them together. Jeremy Cass says, I have a Oranda female and a Ranchu male that have given me hundreds of fry. They all appear to have the physical traits of the female Oranda. Are the female traits usually dominant? They are, and in people too as well. They can be. Holy moly. Buffalo Row. Man, it's been a while. Glad to see you in here, Buffalo Row. Throwing down a huge $20 super chat. Says, while working on your ponds, could you turn on some romantic music, mood lighting for your neon dwarf rainbow fish? I'd like to get some of your strain. So I do have some growing out. I do have some working right now. A few tanks. I was trying to fill up my pond with them until a cold spell came through and get a bunch going for you guys. But I am definitely working on them for you. But thank you so much for the huge $20 super chat. Like I said, always great to see you in here. And thank you so much. And there was like a few things that like when I work on my pond, I try to move a few things here and there just to kind of get it working through the time while I'm out there, but it's still limited when you got hundreds of tanks. Because there's a lot I could do. I'm definitely not bored. Fishy Mailman says, I use a water bottle trap. Maybe try that. Cut the top off. Invert 4 zip ties. You can figure it out. What do I need? Oh, for shrimp, maybe. Simply Betta in here as well. Getting all the big guns. What's up, Tay? Glad to see you in here. Secret History living in your aquarium. Great to see you in here, Alex. And if you guys don't know, he's done my artwork for my posters. He's worked on 2. I need to talk to him about a 3rd. And eventually, hopefully, we can do a 4th. But he says, howdy Pilgrim, how many purple Neocaridinas does it take to battle a full-grown arowana and win? Okay, thanks. Well, a full-grown arowana, all full of spit and vinegar. You're going to need like a million bazillion, probably. Or at least a quadrillion. Because he's going to eat his way through most of them. And I think the way that they would kill them is by overeating them. I think that's about the only way they could take him down, is if he filled his belly up full enough that he just couldn't take it anymore. But thank you so much, Secret History living in your aquarium, for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate you. And I guess he will be going live after I am, so that'll be cool. He is taking over Danikin Aquatics spot. Lucas does have a pilgrim haircut. Nice one, Chris. That's funny. Ken U Turk says, any tips on breeding crayfish? I have found a threatened species native to my area and wanted to breed them for conservation. Oh, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Can you? As far as breeding crayfish, now I know a lot of people use PVC tubing. I mean, honestly, being a native crayfish, and if it's used to being outside, I would go with a dirt mud base and have it half water and half land. That way that crayfish can get in and out. It can build its little tunnels how it would want to. You're going to need a pretty decent sized tank for them too, because they can be territorial. And I would just try to pair a pair. I want to put more than a pair in them. And I'm talking about, like, you probably want a 75, 55 gallon, 40 gallon at the least if you're going to try to breed a native type of crawfish or a crayfish. And yeah, use mud. They love mud. And then as far as feeding them, You can use little fish. Let's see, what could you really feed them? Like insects are kind of hard to do. I don't know. Because they really scavenge off of a whole lot of different things in the wild. So I would just go out into your waterways, see what all there is in there that they would be scavenging off. Worms, black worms are a great one. Black worms would be real good for them. Black bloodworms would probably be helpful. Yeah, besides that, I wish you all the luck, and hopefully that helps. I don't keep any crayfish now, but I do got one in my bottom pond I saw the other day that was like about yay big, got in there. And yeah, my hair is crazy right now because, well, I've been sweating out in the sun all day. I ain't had a time for a shower, moving rocks. It is what it is. Let's see, scroll. How's it going? Ask Dana Ken Aquatics. Glad to see you in here, Dana Ken. It is going. Glad to sit down for a second. Chris Trapp, Lucas, have you ever bred angelfish? So I have had them lay eggs, but I've never actually had them hatch out. They always ate the eggs. I had them for a while, and I don't know. I just kind of gave up on them because it wasn't like. There's this guy named Ed Gray. He breeds so many angelfish around here. So I didn't really mess with them a whole lot. Owen, Jaron, I hope I said that right, or at least got close. Throwing down the 2 pounds, putting out the tired cup of coffee. Thank you so much. I'm actually drinking some Mountain Dew Voltage. That reminds me, this is like my cup of coffee. Which I really shouldn't be drinking it, but whatever. Sometimes you gotta get that juice or gasoline where you can. Keep on keeping on. But I appreciate the super chat and the support. Thank you so much. Crayfish love meat. Yes, definitely. Says secret history living in your aquarium. Crab meat or night crawler worms. Frog eggs or tadpoles. That's what I was thinking. Frog eggs or tadpoles. But I don't know where you would even get those. Besides a body of water. Then when you're starting to put things from another body of water. Now I would try not to feed them from what's in the creek. Because when you bring in things from a creek, put it into a smaller space like a 75-gallon. Especially if there's not a whole lot of water change going on and everything. You're best off keeping a cleaner food that's not going to build up bacterials, fungals, or any other kind of things that you don't want. Timothy Darling, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Can you probably wouldn't see much. Maybe here I'll stroll in there and see if we can, but it's just a bunch of pilo moss, and if I don't bait the shrimp with food before I get on here, then you won't see them. They're all within this metropolis of moss. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I will see. I almost went in there and fed them, but I did not have enough time either. I was going to try to get my feeding and the other part of the fish room done just so I would be ahead of things. But, you know, I didn't get that. I had to eat dinner, you know. I'm glad to hear that your shrimp from Aquashella are rocking, Michael. That's awesome. Kay Walker, hope you're doing well. Great to see you, as always. Says, I'm loving my neon blue sardine cichlids. They don't prey on fry. Should I remove fry so they don't overpopulate? I mean, possibly. And with those sardine cichlids, I'm sure your local fish store might pick them up and give you a little credit off of them. But yeah, those neon blue sardine cichlids are really cool. I thought about getting some myself. And Secret History living in your aquarium. Thanks for becoming a member, bro. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And we'll have to talk later on that third piece of art if you're up for it. I know you're a busy guy these days. Melissa Martin says, anyone ever have micro crabs? Been thinking about getting some. So I have kept micro crabs. They are neat, but the only thing about them, you definitely want a well-seasoned tank. But once you throw them into your tank, they kind of like run and hide. And they're so small, you don't really see them. And you'll definitely want to keep them as a species only, because most fish will snack on them. At least that's my experience with them. Some other people may have better experience. Secret History Living in Your Aquarium says, at least Mountain Dew looks toxic. It's not trying to hide it, right? That's a 100% truth. Chris Trapp, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, Mountain Dew and Granule funds. Have any endlers we could see? Well, thank you for the Mountain Dew and Granule funds. I mean, I do. I've got some Starburst Blue. I guess you guys are tired of seeing me, huh? Super chatting just to see my fish. I guess it makes sense. I ain't showed you guys my fish for a while. There's some Starburst. Starting to run out of them. I'm going to have to jack the price back up on these guys because running through them. I had 4 tanks of them. These are Galaxy Guppies. Starting to get them back a little bit, slowly but surely. Oh, here's the, what are they? The blue snake endlers. Pumas or whatever. They're pretty neat. You still have your Docencia Aspara? Well, they're a Similus, and I do still have them. They're looking a little rough and beat up. This one's still healing up from the hill trouts from when they were in there. I don't know if that guy hit himself up on the top of this, but you can see the water level's not that great. I mean, they're doing their thing, and I hate to say this, but I'm more than likely going to get rid of the hill trouts. Oh, here's the Japanese blue endlers. Got these in here. And then in the other main fish room, on the other side of the fish room, which we're not going because my internet always wants to die when I go over there, there is a ton of different endlers. Ones that I haven't really shown you guys. Dibs on the hill trout, says Oddball Aquatics. Well, you better move fast. And speaking of which, I got rid of my discus there, Oddball Aquatics. Reef swooped them up for 40 bucks a piece. I couldn't resist that, and they weren't a breeding pair. They're cool to look at, but I got to start thinking about breeding in this fish room. Like, my main thing is to get everything all built out. 2022, we're just going to hammer all kinds of stuff. I'll be all set up, and it's going to be awesome. And yeah, just focus on breeding. So I got rid of those discus, and now I got their tank to breed in. Not Noel Jane Fishrich says, we need the merch, Lucas. I do got some merch, but you're right. I got to put that new art on the merch. Bravehearts 1986, can you breed Neocaridina shrimp in a planted tank with CO2? You can, but they don't do as well with the CO2. Shrimp really like that oxygen, and if they outgas with that oxygen with CO2, then it's a lot harder on them. Sorry if I'm missing some questions here. I'm doing my best. Who's firing the fireworks? That would be my neighbor Morgan. He's kind of a party animal. I'm actually going to visit him. Let's see, after I feed my fish and go hang out with them. They got a little bonfire going on. Maybe for like an hour. I gotta get up early and hammer out that yard, so I can't be up too late. But let's see. How about Florida mosquito larvae? Are they safe? Yes, definitely. And somebody last week was talking about how mosquito larvae was messing with their shrimp. Now, I got shrimp out in my pond out there, and it's just loaded with mosquito larvae. Now, they may be able to eat the shrimplets, but I don't think they can hurt any other type of shrimp. Finn Wiggles, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. That is awesome of you, Finn Wiggles. Thank you so much. Throwing out the Superman sticker. Thank you, thank you. Crayfish are very similar to shrimp. They love almost anything you can feed. They will even take flakes and granules. Yeah, they are a little tricky though when you get them out of the wild. It is a kind of a finessing to get them to start taking that kind of stuff. And if they don't take it right away, you have to watch it, because if it does start fungusing up, going bad, mucking up the water, it could kill them if they eat it when it's bad. But they are more territorial than shrimp. I've kept lots of crayfish, and they can get a little crazy when it comes to territory. Mike Vang says, do you have El Silverado Endlers, and are you a musician? So, let's see. I don't think I have El Silverados. I feel like, no, I think I just wanted to get them like 20 times and just never pulled the trigger. And as far as being a musician, I'm not a musician, but I do love music. I'm a lot of things, I guess. Let me put it that way. Well, you guys mostly know me for keeping fish, but... Oh, awesome. I did say that right. Awesome. Oh, Wayne, Jaron. I hope I said that right this time. I think that's how I said it. So perfect pronunciation. That's cool. Let's see. Brave Hearts 1986 says, can you breed Neocaridina shrimp? Oh, I already read that one. I kind of went backwards. Scroll, because I saw all the questions. That is awesome to hear. Finn Wiggles says, my LFS is purchasing my super reds from your line. Your cherries are red hot and NH now. Whoop, whoop. That is awesome. Yeah, firework game is strong over there. And I'm pretty sure I gave them those fireworks. I don't know if he got more, but... Ooh, fireworks are banned in Australia? What kind of country are you living in? The secret... Oh yeah, it's like Canada, I forgot. Oh, wait. The secret history living in your aquarium says, how's life, Kenny? Oh, he's talking to Kenny. Anyway. I hope Kenny's doing good. Steve Topper says, Lucas been given the okay to go to Aquashella Chicago thanks to a free place to stay at my sister's. Are you expecting to have a stand at the show? Looking forward to meet you and a few others. So, Rob of Flip Aquatics actually texted me today asking if I was going to Chicago. So I'm talking to Sean about a booth, and they're going to try to get me one near the fish tube stand. So it's looking like I will more than likely definitely be there. And awesome to hear that you'll be there as well. It'll be nice to meet you. MadCat 61207, always great to see you as well. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, I love Danny, kiss Aquatics. Very nice. Thank you for the super chat. And yes, they are great people. It looks different without their fellow hill trout. It does look different. Now, the reason why I kind of got away from why I was getting rid of the hill trouts, because easy distraction. But this tank, if I can get this tank for these guys and have both tanks, I'm gonna musical fish the heck out of them. Hopefully get the dock and sea is at least breeding. I wish I could keep the hill trouts. They just take up so much space. And, I mean, they're great and fun to look at. I love them. They're rare, but they're just not that functionable for me. So, if I do give them the Haley Oddball Aquatics, maybe I can get them back from her later. Oh, man, I think I got way off this chat somehow. Yeah, I sure did. Trumpy says, hey, do you have CO2 in all your tanks or none of them? So I had one, but I don't even think it's working anymore. So no CO2 going on. I am planning on making a section in my utility section of my fish room. And gonna just make that like a Dutch style CO2'd out kind of system. I prefer to not use CO2 with most of my tanks, because if I did, I would never be able to keep up with the plants at all. Plus, now that I sell, I've been selling plants for a long time. LRBAquatics.com. But when I sell people plants, they do so much better because they don't have special needs. When you have plants that have special needs, then you ship them out to people and they put them in a regular tank, it's problematic. You're going to have melting backs and all kinds of stuff. So, with the lack of extra, it makes it easier for everyone. Water Lover says what Japanese koi farm are they from? Let's see, I think Blue Ridge and something else. I don't know if it's straight from Japan, but I got them from Next Day Koi, which their selection was absolutely awesome. I just clicked the butterfly fins and then like scrolled through all those. I got like one of each and everything that I thought looked cool. And I probably went through like 1,000, and they do like the exact fish, which is really nice. So I've got like this orange one with the little dots in their heads, and like a white one with the orange dot. You guys will see them. I made a whole video on having them. I've got the pictures that they actually had on the website, and I'll be sharing it all with you. Right now, I'm slowly trying to train them to come up to me and feed, because they're really skittish right now. I can now get my hand in the water and splash around a little bit without them running off, but eventually I'm trying to get them to eat out of my hands. But it just takes time to work with them. Found the leftovers of a wolf spider in my yellow neos. Was not expecting them to devour that thing. Yeah, yellow neos are always super hungry. They're probably the most vivacious eaters out of all my shrimp lines for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, they'll eat that. I mean, in Mother Nature, that kind of stuff falls in the water and they eat it. Like these koi, I know they've been snacking on cicadas like crazy. Randy Roman says, do we have a rough idea of which fish tubers will be at Aquashella? There's usually a big, strong group that's always there. Like this last time, we had Serba Design, KG Tropicals, Primetime Aquatics, his wife, the Small Scape. She's got her little channel now. DIY Aqua Pros. Mike, he's awesome. Let's see, you got Rob Flip Aquatics, you got Jadron Aquatics was there, Chattanooga Ed, Fisher and Fever, a ton of them. Like I can keep random them off. SC Fish Keepers, there's always a ton, enough of them that'll be there for sure. And it's great just getting to hang out with them all and chill. And they set up a nice area too, where it's like plenty spaceful, I should say, or spacious, so it doesn't get too crowded. At least they did here in Orlando. And I think they have a huge venue this year in Chicago. Not like the last couple years where it was kind of smaller and cramped into the hotel they were into. They actually got a nice bigger venue, which will be great. Bravehearts 1986. Is it okay to feed Neocaridina shrimp every day in a planted tank? It is, but always watch them. And if you see that they're not really eating the food, then maybe not feed them as much. I don't know how big of a population you have. I feed my shrimp every day, but I'm also growing my shrimp out to breed. So I want them to continuously breed. Now, if you don't want them to breed a ton all the time, then yeah, maybe do it every other day. So you can kind of control the population by feeding as well. Kevin O'Connell says, have you ever experienced a film from Bacter AE or shrimp fit powders? I see a film on the surface, not sure what caused it, but it seems like it may be Bacter. Any idea what causes the film? Yeah, so Bacter AE is kind of just like biofilm in a sense, and that's what it's acting as. So that's more than likely what's causing your film, as the shrimp can't eat all that powdery stuff. Like, it really takes some time. I'm not a fan of Bacter AE myself. I don't use it. Now, if you're trying to breed Carradinas, they can be a little more pickier as shrimplets in their diet. and it's why it's having a mature tank is really helpful, because they go that biofilm, the natural biofilm for those baby Carradinas is really beneficial, and that's pretty much what Bacter AE is doing. But just watch it, because overdoing it, you can cause water problems. Fish Easy says, what size tank were those mascaras in? Look short but long. So that's 125 gallon long. It's actually one of my favorite footprints. Fish Easy says, what size tank? Oh wait, I already said that one. Chris Trapp says, Lucas, what's your preferred way to kickstart a new tank? I like to just squeeze in some old moldy foam material. So like this power head I have in here, since I don't have any filters besides like a couple tanks with power heads, I'll get all that brown moldy mucky stuff, which people call muck. It's pretty much mulm or future dirt in essence. I just squeeze all that in there, get it looking all brown and nasty, and then I let it settle. And as soon as it settles, it's good. It's good. It's good. And it's actually really surprising to see how it really settles, because it doesn't take long for it to settle, and it looks really good. Like, you would think squeezing all that stuff in there would just like ruin the tank. It really doesn't. It's what I do at the events when I set up new tanks. And people come in and they're like, oh wow, these are great. You just set these up? Yep, just squeeze that stuff on in there. Damn it, Kid Aquatics. You was a rapper too, Mr. Placo. That's funny. Yeah, I gotta get back into making some songs. I guess I kind of am a musician. There's a few instruments I can play. Like, I can jam a guitar. I couldn't tell you a chord or a lick of any of the notes and stuff. Like, I've tried to teach myself to read, but like my carrying level really isn't there. But yeah, I can play stuff. Like, I've got the ear and the feel and the flow for the go, you know. Do you ever just feel like giving up the hobby? You know, it's crossed me a couple times where it's like, man, this is a lot. I could never give up this hobby. No way. Water is in the blood. For sure. Troopy says, hey, oh wait. Here, I already answered that one about CO2. How did I get back to that? I gotta work on my scrolling skills. Oh my god! Oh, I don't want to say it yet, but... Ooh, it jumped too. Oh my god, I was looking at the timer, so we did get over a half hour here. But as soon as I said, oh my god, then it like skipped 4 seconds. I didn't want to jinx it, but I ain't that superstitious anyways. Superstition can definitely inhibit you, and I used to be. I kind of worked myself out of all that. And once again, sorry if I'm missing any of you guys' questions. Hikari Blue Daniels. They're kind of like hill trouts. Interesting. Get some. It says secret history living in your aquarium. I don't know. I wonder how big they get. Like, I almost got these redfin barbs because a lot of people are, no, not redfin barbs. They're redfin bala sharks. Redfin sharks. They're kind of like the bala shark, but they have red fins. Now, you guys may not know this, but I absolutely have a huge, huge, huge soft spot for bala sharks. I just can't keep them because they get absolutely massive. But I did almost get those. But once again, I was like, man, that's just going to be that fish I'm looking at. And I really need to focus on the fish that I have to breed now. It's easy that collectoritis will run your life sometimes. Luckily, I've run through a lot of it already. Is Shrimp King a good food to use? I have no idea. Thoughts on immersion planted tanks? Patrick Callahan. So I have a video about unusual floating plants. If you have not seen it, you can search it. LRB Aquatics Unusual Floating Plants. Tons of immersion type planted tanks, like here, for instance. something like that. I have run through the gauntlet. Like that Anubias popping out. Like I love them. You know, let's see, we got Rotalia, that Brazilian Pennywort always coming out. Rotalia, Colorado always looks great. I mean, you can grow all kinds of plants floating. Corkscrew valve, look at this corkscrew valve. That was like 3 corkscrew valves like a month ago. Yeah, maybe a month and a half. But now it's a whole tank full of corkscrew valve growing up into the tank. But let's see. I don't think I have much sitting out here. I think there might be. What's over here? Taiwan Lily. Yeah, sometimes the Taiwan Lily will come up and out. Same with the pearlweed. You'd be surprised how many plants you can grow up and out of the water. And it's mostly because what happens is when we put plants in our aquariums, especially stems and stuff, that's why they stretch out, get real stringy if you don't trim them up, because they're trying to get up and out of the water. Because when they get up and out of the water, then they can start flowering, they can start producing naturally how they would. But that's why we trim them in aquascaping and get them more bushy. Kind of like what you would do outside if you had bushes. So the way that we, let's see, scape or design plants is the same way we do it out of the water as inside the water. Yes, embrace the mulm. Yummy, yummy mulm. And I know my neighbors are shooting those fireworks over here on purpose. Like, they know I'm live right now. They're just honoring it like that. Jimmy Peterson. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll get back to you, Jimmy. Jennifer Brennan says, any advice for keeping CPDs? I want to get 7 to add to my 65-gallon nano tank, rummies, embers, cardinals, clam, pleco, and coolies. So if you're keeping CPDs, they really don't need, they're not that finicky. Like the reports and everything else that they need super soft water or super hot water. I've got mine breeding in 70s and stuff. They're really not that hard. The hardest part is finding decent CPDs that aren't affected by either parasites or sunken belly, bad genetics, which I'm planning on working on a lot of those here sooner than later. But just watch your fish store and watch the stock. Make sure they're nice and healthy when you get them, and yeah, you should be good with those types of fish with the CPDs. They'll get along in that. Let's see, his secret history living in your aquarium. I think back to AE like corn feed for cows. It works, but it's monoculture, and in nature there are hundreds of things they eat rather than one filler food, but it's finding new tanks in my opinion. Yeah, and even in new tanks though, I honestly would not use that Bacteria AE in a newer tank, just because there's not enough beneficial bacteria to eat that away. And if that ends up going bad in that water, especially in a newer tank, because the microorganisms aren't there to help that monoculture, it will just turn into a monoculture of fungus and problems. And it would be like taking cow feed and spreading it all over in your aquarium to where it covers everything. Jimmy Peterson, back to you. Sorry about the delay there, Jimmy. Says, I just bought a 40-gallon tank. I've only had 20-gallon tanks and smaller. What should I know moving up? What would be some good beginner fish for this size? My boy Jimmy, I tell you what, congrats on moving up to a 40-gallon tank, because the bigger you go, the better it gets, brother. I'm telling you, I absolutely love big tanks now. Like, after I went through it, dude, it's so much easier because it's bigger volume of water, less chance for us messing them up. And as far as like what fish to get for that, like that's really on you. You could almost put a lot of things into a 40-gallon. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Get something you like. But yeah, congrats on moving up to a 40-gallon. And as far as like anything that you should know is just, if you can keep a 20 gallon, you could keep a 40 gallon easier. Well, thank you, Carla. I really appreciate it. And Tyler Fuston, thank you so much for the $5 soup chat. Always great to see you in here, Tyler, and for the support. Thanks for always being real and having a ton of love for the hobby. You're the man, LRB. Always appreciate the info and help. Well, thank you. I appreciate you and the kind words. That kind of stuff and words just help keep me motivated so much. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, positive vibes reverberate positive vibes, and if I can give them to you, you guys give them to me. Hey, we're living a good life. So thank you. Oh, Tom Higgs, so sorry to hear that. So many chemtrails today. It hasn't been that bad around us lately, thankfully. Where's Wesley tonight? He's the star of the show. I think I heard him knock on the door earlier. I was waiting for him to come in, but he didn't come in. His mom might have stopped him. But we'll get him more on this channel here soon. Oh my gosh, sorry that I had to yawn in front of you guys, because now I'm sure maybe some of you guys are yawning now. But that came out of nowhere. Where, Candy, did you change your name? Right? Where's Candy? Candy, where are you? Somebody needs to tell her that we're still alive over here. We miss you, Candy. Hope Corey didn't take you hostage. John Fogarty, or Fogarty. Oh man, thought we had some famous guy in here for a second. Says, how much water agitation is enough? Hang on the back filter alone. Do I need an air stone on a fit? There he is! You must have heard us talking about him. So it depends on what kind of tank you're keeping. There's like none on all the, like most of these tanks have like no surface agitation. I run no filters, no air stones, no nothing. Plants actually really don't need much agitation. Now with the bigger fish, they do need some agitation just to help with the oxygenation. But with like most smaller community fish, they really don't care about any surface agitation. Hi, Wesley. King You Turk says, going collecting in the marshes, Gulf of Mexico tomorrow. Anything you think I should try for in the Gulf of Mexico, in the marshes? So that ain't that like salty? Or are you going into where like the fresh water meets the salt water? Those batfish are always cool. I don't know if you guys have those in the Gulf of Mexico though. Scats or bats or whatever they are. I couldn't tell you. Oh well. Oh yeah, that raccoons, aka trash pandas, they're still hanging about. I found 3 babies, so the mom had her normal 3 babies this year as she normally does. Opened up the door the other night and they're all playing in the mud. So we just keep trying to bribe them with cat food. Addicted to Fish Chick says, I have a golden barb that keeps slapping its tail against a log. I destroy some fish scales. They grow back. Is that a territorial thing or boredom? So more than likely he may have some skin flukes underneath them, which will make a fish itch. And they'll smack it on something to try to either itch themselves or to dislodge them. And to help with flukes, General Cure will help. Whoa. Flacco's Garden says, here in Arizona, they shoot more than fireworks. Yeah, did you guys see that supposed firework detonation in LA? That was crazy. Blew up that police bomb squad vehicle. That was nuts. Christopher Gonzalez says, do you still have that sump filtering your fry rack? If, may we please see it? So I do still have it, and it's in the other room. I can't really show without the internet going off, but I am building another one over here. And that's what this is actually going to be too. Whoa, am I zoomed in? I am zoomed in. Weird. But this rack will be kind of like that as well. So we're building more of them. I do have videos on them. If you do want to see it, just type in fry rack, LRV fry rack. Tom Higgs says, what can I do about the chemtrails? I mean, I wish I knew, bro. Awareness is what we can do. We have to talk about it. We can't just keep pushing it off like they don't exist, because they do. There's enough proof for it. Jennifer Brennan says thank you. And the reason why I say that and talk about that on this stream is because it connects to Mother Nature and what we do within the hobby. Like the fact that we're spraying barium, aluminum, and all kinds of other heavy metals in the air. Like, it's costing. Jennifer, let's see. Jennifer Brennan, thank you. When are you selling them? When am I selling what? Oh man, my brain. I can't revert back to what you're asking. Hi bud. Scrolling for questions, scrolling. Drift and Driftwood says, is there really a set time for plants in general to transition from immersed growth? Thanks. So no real set time, you just have to watch them. So say you get some immersed growth plants and you want to put them in your aquarium underneath the water. What you do is you set them in there, and what will happen is the immersed growth will sometimes live, but often sometimes it will just melt away. But then you'll start seeing the newly brighter colored leaves or new growth coming out. And as long as you're getting that new growth, then you're good to go. And it always helps to kind of trim off any of the decaying stuff, because if you leave the decaying leaves in there, then they can rot and cause algae issues. Michael, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Michael Tate says, my guppy grass is dying. What does it need? Fluval 2.0 lighting, hardish water, limited ferts, val, and cribs. 55-gallon tank, let me know. So what's going on is your valves and cribs are probably, especially that valve, is ripping most of your fertilization away, and the guppy grass really loves to eat, and that's more than likely what's happening, is there's just not enough nutrients to go around for everything, because your guppy grass really feeds from that water column. Oh, don't even get me started on the Paris Agreement. Geoengineering. Let's see. Wesley is awesome, isn't he? Bink says, I have a small rack in my apartment with 10 tanks on it, and I'd like to get some plants that grow up and out of them and across into the other tanks as well. What plants would you recommend? Definitely the Brazilian pennyworts goes off like crazy. Tracy Brunson, and Rotalias are great for skipping over too. But Wesley, Tracy Brunson's got a question for you. It says, what's your favorite fish?
Rainbow fish.
Rainbow fish, all right. And you got rainbow fish, don't you?
Yep.
Yep, you got a lot of them. Haley gave them to you too, didn't she?
Even when they grow up, they change color.
Yeah, and they'll be all red for you. Your favorite color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exciting. Any suggestions to encourage angels to breed or pair up? I probably not the best for like tips on that, so hopefully somebody in the chat can help. But many people mention like putting slate in there at an angle, 45-degree angle, to help them breed. As far as pairing up, you just kind of got to watch their behavior with each other. And Bink, when you're asking about those plants too, like I mentioned, that's Brazilian pennywort, if that's what you're trying to do, something like that. I know not everybody has seen that. It's kind of sad because I'm going to rip all that out so I can breed CPDs. But it'll be great because I can breed CPDs, right?
Yep.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome, Daddy.
You're the best. Addicted to Fish Chick, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It's very awesome of you. It says, Happy July 4th. I'm Canadian, but my birthday falls on this holiday. The U.S. sure does some nice fireworks when I'm in your country. Well, thank you, Addicted to Fish Chick. And yes, we do have some nice fireworks. Oh no, what did I do? Oops. I just accidentally deleted that.
Oh, no.
How do I fix that? Oh no. But anyways, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
Yeah, you know?
Are we gonna go watch fireworks?
What?
What do you think? Should we do that?
No.
No?
Because at the white holiday we have to.
Yeah, which is in like a couple days.
Yeah. Like
Guess we have to. It's just a way for us to show our freedom, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got mixed feelings about fireworks. They're cool, but at the same time, they aren't the best for the environment. Renee, even though it all becomes dust to dirt and all that stuff anyways. Renee Rozowski says, I'm having an issue with my tub pond being pH 9.9 plus, KH is 0, or 40 ppm, GH is 180 ppm. Would adding wonder shells and crushed coral help the KH and bring down the pH? So no. Right now you're sitting at about 240 TDS, which is close to neutral water, and it's really good water. Now the reason why you're getting a 9+ pH reading, and this is why I do not go off of pH and why pH is a goose chase, is that it also reads per hydrogen. And what happens is when you get that sun that hits those outdoor ponds, it sends that pH reading off the charts, like way off the charts. And this is why I quit chasing pHs after learning that. Especially if you were to check a grain water tub for pH, like it's insanity. But the hardness is really not there. The hardness is within that GH and that KH. So try not to worry about your pH. You'll be good. Wish Wesley would say hello to me, says Carla. The tank on your left is looking awesome. Well, thank you. Threadfin rainbows are cool. They are indeed. Let's see. Scrolling. Secret History Living in Your Aquarium says, I like pouring water from the Cory tanks that spawn the same day into the angel tank. The hormones will trigger angels to spawn oftentimes. Also water changes. Oh, very interesting. Makes sense. Now, see, I'm sorry, Addicted Fish Chick. I do not know what I did to her. I think I put her in timeout. What did I do? I hit her questions. I am so sorry, Addicted to Fish Chick. I have got to fix that. Do I have a mod in here that can maybe help me? Because I do not want... No, did I put her in timeout? I hit the wrong button there. Oh, I feel so bad about that.
You probably did.
She super chatted me and then now I hit the wrong button.
Oh, no.
We gotta figure this out. Madcat 61207. Danny Kiss Aquatic is my hero. Well, thank you for the super chat again, Madcat. Yeah, fireworks are a big hazard in places that get wildfires for sure. Puckamus says, where can I get axolotls? Have you kept one? So I haven't kept one just because I'm afraid I can't keep it cool enough. Really don't know a good place to get axolotls myself. Maybe somebody does in the chat. Yeah, Wesley prefers to celebrate on the actual holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas pretty cool, ain't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
Close to your birthday, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Close.
Mike Ravelo says, can I keep a backyard pond without a filtered Japanese rice fish style? So you can. just after the rain is a big reason why we put the filters and stuff on the pond, is because after rains they get real muddy and murky, but you really don't need them. I've been keeping my koi with that filter off for quite some time. Chris Trapp says USA, USA. The rawest dog, what up raw dog, says, what what do you do with all the coals when selectively braiding shrimp? So I have multiple coal tanks that I put them into, and then I actually sell coals too. But like, I don't get all the like wild and muddy brown ones, so my coals are just kind of like, oh man, my coals are on a whole nother level after you work through them. Lucas, we can't undo what you do. Oh, I might have to go back in, but seriously, I'm so sorry, Fish Chick. I will get you taken care of. I will have to probably get into my main dashboard to do that. Tom Higgs says, can you please do a chemtrail lecture? You give us such few morsels, but you have so much information we need to know. And you know, I wish I could talk about this kind of stuff, but like, this isn't the platform for me to talk about it, because we're here for fish, and I've thought about having other channels to help talk to people about it, but I do what I can, where I can, when I can, the best I can. And yeah, I mean, a lot of this kind of stuff people have to go with on themselves. I wish I could talk to you guys more about it though. I really do. But I know, like, majority of my audience, like, that's not what they're looking for. Tracy Brunson, wonder if he will be as strong as Samson if he keeps his hair growing, right? You think you're going to be as strong as Samson? No? Do you know who Samson is?
No.
I'll have to tell you the story of him later on.
Okay.
Mad Cats, can some of you blues please link the special bias page? Thank you for asking for that, Mad Cats. LRB Aquatics. And if you are looking for stuff, and on the special bias page, I am planning on updating it tonight. So if you guys are looking to order, check into it tomorrow, and I should have more onto you. See, like David Tatum, see, he couldn't handle the talk there. It bothered him so much that we even mentioned chemtrails. He had to leave because it was so dumb to him. That was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Some people just can't handle it.
Yeah.
Talking and discussing about things around us that are right above their head. Anyway, we are over the hour mark, and so we got off the topic a little bit tonight, but I appreciate you guys all hanging out. And yes, thank you, Kay, for asking them to hit the like button, since I am not the best at asking them. And if you hit that like button, it would definitely help and show YouTube algorithms. Yeah, thanks, bud.
Right.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button. Unless, oh wait, no, I'm not gonna say nothing. But anyways, thank you all for joining us, and hope you guys all have a great weekend, and stay safe out there. Until next time, everybody, peace. Have a great one. We gotta go feed some fish now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, till next time, everybody, peace. Have a great one. Do 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 do.